giving credit. How about this little microphone? Gọi là không ạ? It's okay. Good morning, dear Thai, dear brothers, sisters, and dear family. Try to guess what's the day. I think October 29, right? 30th? I'm still in the past. Okay, dear friends, today is the October 30th, 2025. We are in Wisdom retreat in Malaysia. I would like to invite everybody to sit comfortably to enjoy three sounds of the bell. Allow the sound of the bell. You can imagine the sound of the bell is the bell of somebody very close to you. You respect very much. And then it's a voice, the sound to invite us to return to the present moment, to discover the peace and the wonderful of this moment. We allow our ears and our hearts to open to receive the sound. This sound is a little bit longer, so when we say invite the sound, invite the bells. We don't say kick or hit, but we say respectfully invite the bell to sound. Then when you find peace within this breathing while you're listening to the sound of the bell. I hope you have a good rest last night, or sleep very well. And I also would like to acknowledge the organizing teams, the Sangha, the community from Malaysia, and then also the Wisdom Park, that they are very generous and compassionate to allow us to use the space. When I first arrived here, I feel, wow, interesting. And we also would like to give rise to gratitude because there are so many conditions that help this place to manifest and to help this retreat to happen. You will see a lot of little things they have to do: registration, announcement, answering your questions, reply email, reply WhatsApp, right? Difficult? This is Connie smile beautifully. This means you are very easy to take care. And we also would like to just give rise to gratitude that you are able to be here. Because I heard from the organizing team that to come here you have to register, and then the amount is quite limited, so not everybody can come. So maybe consider you are quite lucky you can be sitting here. And for the monastic brothers and sisters, also we are very lucky because we have a chance to be in touch with you, to know you, and then to offer our insight, our understanding, and our practice. And the monastic brothers and sisters, also quite a numbers of them, quite new to Malaysia, except me. And the sister Nami also. She's a Malaysian. So Brother King, who gave the orientation last time, been to Malaysia a couple of times. But the interesting thing is there's always a new faces, new friends who come to participate in the retreat. It is good news because quite a lot of new people are coming. But we are also very happy to see that numbers of you already participated in the retreat or day of mindfulness many times, but you still come to this retreat. They call it a repeat order. You buy something, you eat, oh, this is good. Repeat, right? Those who are not repeating, I don't know why. Because the retreat is not just only like one time. People thinking that, go to try a retreat, practice of mindfulness from plant respiration, and then after one time, okay, bye-bye. This is the first and the last. But I really hope that this is not the first and the last. There will be a continuation. So we have a little center in Kota Kemuning. So they also organize regular programs. You are welcome. If not very far, you can come to Kota Kemuning. Or there are times when they organize online programs. Or either by Singapore or by Malaysia or by Thailand, you are also welcome to come. I think we have a WhatsApp group. If you don't mind, you can join the WhatsApp group and then you can receive more information related to the regular practice. And the themes of the retreat is you have enough. Maybe I have to flip a little bit. I have enough. I have enough of you. I think this is really related to what happens nowadays in our society. Even though the monks and nuns, we mostly live in our center, we don't have a lot of contact. So the only chance that we have a contact, interact with the lay practitioners during our tour like this, so we have a chance to talk to you Also, it helps us to understand what really happened to you in your life or in the society, for example, in Malaysia. What happened in Indonesia? What happened in Singapore? What happened in Malaysia society? It also helps us to understand. And I can see there's a lot of similarity. The suffering that we have to endure, the impatience, the frustrations, or maybe the stress. More or less probably. More or less. And then the practice of blood release is really what the brothers described yesterday night. That we want to apply the mindfulness in all aspects of our life. If you are a doctor, if you are an architect, you are a programmer, you are a full-time mother, no full-time father, because the father always somewhere else working to earn a living, right? Oh, but sometimes somewhere in Korea or maybe Japan, they have a full-time father. So the father will take care of the baby. Not sure in Malaysia and Singapore. But anyway, there's many big cities. They both husband and wife have to go out to earn their livings. So their baby, their children, they will ask the grandma to take care. Right? This is quite common in Asia. Because they say, not enough. Only the father go out to earn a living. Not enough. So both husband and wife go out for working and doing some kind of business. So maybe you ask what kind of enough? It's very difficult. Maybe after a few days you will see what kind of enough you will find out. And then see how, when we apply mindfulness in our daily life, how it affects you. Or the way you look at enough will be maybe a little bit different. We cannot guarantee or promise you, after attending the 5-day retreat by Plant-Based, I will totally free or happy. Yeah, you will find a lot of happiness here and there if you are mindful enough. And then when we come to a retreat like this, feeling like you learn everything from beginning, from zero. Like last night we teach you how to breathe, right? That is why we have a mindful breathing. How to breathe in a way that you can give rise to peace. How to breathe in a way that you feel comfortable. How to breathe in a way that you feel relaxed. Yeah. So all from breathing. That is why our teacher usually, he will say that the breathing is the main key to mindfulness. So primarily actually we teach a lot related to breathing. So then you combine the breathing with something else. You see, when we listen to the bell, we in-breath and out-breath. This morning when the brother offered a guided sitting meditation, he also always begin with the breathing in, something, breathing out, something, right? Do you still remember what he said about this breathing? Or you are totally fall into, people can, while sitting but sleeping at the same time. But luckily this morning nobody is snoring. But don't worry about this snoring. After lunch you will experience this snoring because you will have a meditation called lying down or total relaxation. So all of the things are related to breathing and bodies. So when we talk about breathings, for all of us, monks and nuns, because breathing is always happening. So we would like to utilize, we want to use the breathing as our main object of practice. Do you have breathing? I hope you have. Breathing. Or maybe you think of Huxi, correct? Huxi also breathing. Huxi, one in, one out, is also general term we call it breathing. But in the scriptures, it's only used this. In the scripture, never you will see Huxi, but you will see this word. Also, see is means one is mean breathing. The second one is mean resting. So you can see what is the relationship between breathing and resting. Probably they are one. So after so many years practice mindful breathing, I somehow can feel that when I deliberately put my attention to my breathing, it makes my whole body relax. So maybe this is what we call a resting. So maybe I would like you to, in these few days, take time to see whether this breathing is resting. Because this is a little bit difficult to explain to you. Maybe I can say, but you try. When you listen to the bell, you listen to the clock chimes, and then see whether this breathing and resting, they are connected together. So you have to try. Because in the Zen traditions, there are things that we can just give you a description a little bit. We should not give you too many definitions or things. If you want more definitions, you can go to ChatGPT or it will give you a very thorough description. Even you can make a dissertation or thesis on this breathings or mindfulness. Somehow it's helpful, but do not rely too much on this AI. They are quite helpful, also useful. If you rely too much on this AI, it will really make you lazy. Yeah, so feeling like your brain's not function properly. So be careful. Because I also use it. But I always try my best not to really use it. Because there are things that you can use your brain to think and to write, and then you do it yourself. So it's called a mindful ChatGPT. Okay, so this breathing and resting. And then actually when you take an in breath and out breath, you are always, if you pay attention deliberately, then you are always in the here and now. Here and now. The now is the present moment, 当下，不是现在。当下 is more correct. That split moment, because when you pay attention to that moment, it's very quickly pass. So you are creating a past by observing the present moment, right? Because if I say, oh, please pinpoint the present moment, it's very difficult. But I don't want to go into this philosophical way of it. But you can feel every time you take a deep breath, that's really present moment. When you're aware of this out breath, and then you will feel that is the present moment, the tangxia. Once again, you need to experience it. So over here, we are not really providing you or try to explain to you the theory. We will give you a little, we will feed you a little bit. And then you have to chew, you have to digest. If I feed you too much, it's also not very good. It's not our intention. So we will feed you a little bit, you chew and you try to digest, and then you practice. So kind of discovery learning or experiential learning. I'm also quite into this education because I help few schools to apply mindfulness in their school. Because nowadays a lot of children, they are very stressful. A lot of homework, exam, grade. You have to get a good grade in order to, for everyone to study in a good university. Then entrance, exam, all of things. And then many years in the school, they're also facing a difficult problem. For example, the characters of a young people quite different, so they bully each other by using physical or speech. And so it's also created a lot of difficulties, not only in Indonesia, but also from Singapore also it happened, and Malaysia also. And then the most I think many happen in America, in the United States. Even there are few news reported that the teenagers or young people were so frustrated because of the bullying. Even they stole the gun and shoot in the classroom. I also feel so sad. So actually bringing mindfulness to school is very important. But of course, not all the school there are, because maybe when we talk about mindfulness, people will make a connection directly to Buddhism. So numbers of them is quite not only sensitive, but they are, what do you call it, discriminate because it's related to certain religions. So there's a lot of ways now bringing the mindfulness to a more secular life. But of course, when you ask about the root, we have to be honest that, this is from the scriptures of the Buddha, for example, the Mindful Breathing Sutra, for example, or the Four Foundations of Mindfulness, the Satipatthana Sutta. Like Plant Village, we use these two scriptures there. Not sure whether you are familiar with what I call it the Anapanasati. Anapana is in and out, Sati means mindfulness. So mindfulness of in and out. Or the Satipatthana. Patthana means foundations. Sati is the mindfulness, the foundation of mindfulness. But nowadays it's easy. You go to Google, you want to find out more details. But over here we will teach you the applied mindfulness that you can apply directly. While eating, while standing, while walking, while listening. What else? Lying down, standing, walking, sitting, eating, brushing your teeth. What else? Anything, everything in our daily life. So please remember the here and now. The here is your body is here, right? Your body is here. But your mind, I'm not sure. I think all of Malaysian? No, I'm from Singapore. Somebody else from outside of Malaysia? May I know from where?
US.
US? Don't tell me you flew from US. No.
My husband.
I see. May I know where you're from?
Malaysia.
Malaysia? I see. Interesting. So, yeah, maybe mostly from Malaysia. And you have address somewhere. So while your body is here, but sometimes your mind will regularly return to your workplace, your office, your business, your home or somewhere. But it's totally normal, it's okay. But we would like, if you notice, merely recognize that your mind is not here, you can take a long in-breath to bring it back. Very long one. Take a long in-breath and long out-breath. Your mind will return to your body. So when your mind returns to your body, you are in the here and now. This is what we call mindfulness. Very simple, huh? Your body and mind together. Mindfulness. In Chinese they call it nian. In Mahayana tradition you have a lot of nian. Nian for, correct? If you're familiar with the Mahayana, the Pure Land tradition, they call it nian for, correct? But in over here we nian si. Okay? Nian si is mean mindful of our breathing. But in other traditions, they have nian fo, nian fa, nian se, many nian. Or as nian jie, jie no, presents mindfulness. Nian, there's one thing quite scary. They call it the nian si. Yeah, they have. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Nian si is meant contemplating about or mindful about death. But please don't do this person. Sorry, let me erase it. Because sometimes when you talk about death, people will say, I want to live forever, another 5,000 years. No way. So it's a kind of a contemplation or mindful. There's a lot of mindful. But over here we're using the nian si, the mindful breathings to help our mind to be here and now, and then do everything walking like this morning. I really, even I practice walking meditation for many, many times. Whenever we practice together like this morning, when I listen to the sharing of the brother share how to practice walking meditation, and then the sisters share, I put them all together. And then I feel that my understanding of walking meditation a little bit deeper. So if, for me, even I practice walking meditation, let's say, I'm not bragging myself, like almost 18 years, but after 18 years I still practice walking meditation. Not saying that, oh yeah, you go to 4 years university and then you got a bachelor degree and then you finish. There's no bachelor of mindfulness. Slowly they will master of mindfulness something. Because everything they want to quantify right now. Because in the science field, if you cannot provide the evidence or the proof, maybe many people will not believe, right? You have to, oh, there's a journal somewhere by this professor, this doctor, this research saying certain things, and then you have a little faith, or maybe I can come to try this mindfulness, right? So please remember about the mindfulness of breathing. It will automatically bring you here and now, and then you will have the effect of a restful. So maybe let's give it a try of one sound of the bell. We enjoy the sound and then bring our body and mind to the here and now. Put our wholehearted attention to listen to the sound and aware of the in-breath and out-breath. And when we're talking about research, nowadays a lot of research related to mindfulness, and then they found out that when you practice mindfulness, actually there's a structure of your brain will change. It's called the neuroplasticity of our brain structure. Maybe you think that your brain is like permanent, no changes there. But actually, according to their observation, it keeps changing. So what you repeat, we do it again and again. Like for us, we practice a lot of mindful breathing. They say it changes the structure of our mind. Physically change. And then of course it will change our behavior, what do you call it, habit. Do you have habit? Yes, everybody may have. But what kind of habits? But habit of waking up early morning, this one I'm not very sure. I'm sorry, want to check with you that what is the earliest time you can wake up? Or generally speaking, what time? 6. Okay. But today we have to wake up at 5. Did you wake up at 5 a.m.? No? Okay, maybe it's a secret. You don't want other people to know. Like last night, I slept at 10 p.m. But the monastic usually around 10 to 11 our schedule to go to sleep. Me, I will always limit myself. Maximum is 11 p.m. 11 p.m. No more discussion, no more phone, no nothing. Close down everything, go to sleep. If I don't do like this, it will become a new habit. Because nowadays got a lot of people, they will always say, never enough time doing this thing, chatting or watching, I don't know. If you don't do like that, you will slowly drain your body. So please take good care of this body. Then if this body cannot function well anymore, it will be difficult for all of us. So take good care of it. Sleep earlier, wake up earlier, and then eat healthy food, things, in the present moment, not too much worry or overthinking. This is what we want to do. Actually, I already prepared my thoughts, but at the end I thought something else. Because I think this morning I gave a Dharma talk using my book. So I already done my Dharma talk. Do you know how? Because I written out everything in Dharma talk. But there are so many things I did not. But anyway, we can go. You have to practice letting go. If you practice letting go, there's a angxia. There's also what you call it, angxia. Angxia. Letting go, right? Many xia. we are very good at getting things put on our shoulders here and head. So even walking, we feel so heavy. So coming here, you also have to finish. You have to let go so many things. Your business, your this thing, your loved one, your office. Many things you have to let go, right? And then you are successfully letting go. But don't worry, my dear friends, because I know you are very good at acquiring again. The brother yesterday said, okay, please leave your phone inside the locker. One day you are very successful, but the second day, maybe just 5 minutes. So we are very good at acquiring, but to letting go sometimes is very difficult. So over here we want you to experience this letting go. Especially letting go the past. Right? And letting go of the future. I'm not saying that you are not allowed to, because quite a lot of people, when I say living in the present moment, letting go of the past and the future, they immediately have an extreme view. So we should not think about the future. How can we make a plan about the past? I'm not saying that you not allowed to think about the future. Yes, you are allowed to think about the future. You make a plan. To come here, you have to plan the time, the car, transportations, and a lot of things. You have to plan. But it's also thinking about the future. But how you think about the future this is the most important question. Because a lot of people, when you already make a plan, future, you keep repeating again and again. And then until to a certain extent, you make yourself very burdened thinking about this future. This is not worthwhile. The capacity to recognize that we are overloaded with the future is the present moment. You come back to the present moment, then you can start to realize, why I have to think this one again and again. Why I have to behave like our teacher say, radio, non-stop thinking. So it's repeating again and again. And then at the end you feel so tired. Be careful when you think a lot and then you become so tired. Your emotion is like a roller coaster. Meeting people, you feel like want to spit fire. Like a dragon. So the past and the future, they are, maybe we can say that they are not totally bad. I don't want to give you the impression that, future is bad, past also is bad. But you will see that how the future, the past and the present connected. Yeah, we can say, okay, like learning tenses, there's a past tense, the present tense, the future tense. Long time ago when I look at this, I feel like this what I call it? There's a boundary between them. But slowly I see how they interconnected to each other. So it's for you to discover. So when you practice letting go, the one thing that I can assure you is what we call very important to our life right now is called a healing. Sometimes you just hold this idea about a certain thing that you're not able to let it go, and then you create a lot of suffering inside of you. So actually the suffering, I can say mostly is created by inside of us, internally. But we are not able to recognize it, so we always point our fingers outside, right? You try to find what scapegoats. There's always You are wrong. I am right. And then it becomes repeating again and again. So our life becomes so messy. I remember in the Buddha's time, there's one farmer is taking care of growing rice, paddy field. So to work in the paddy field, to grow the rice, you need what we call how is it? Huh? No, the animal. Buffalo, okay. Buffalo, not cow, okay? Because cow is a holy being, not holy animal in India. So the Indian, they respect the cow. So the buffalo. So the farmer owned quite numbers of buffalo to help him to work in the field. But one day, not sure why, the place is open, and then all the buffalo somehow ran away. I remember function. Oh yeah, we have function also have function. Correct? Function. Oh, thank you. I suddenly remember function. Function is a practice of Mahayana also, right? Liberates animals. But that one, the farmer is undeliberately, not intentionally function. But when the Mahayana, they will just go somewhere to buy maybe fish or something, and then they release it because of practice of compassion. So the farmer was so sad and don't know what to do, so he just running around here and then try to where is my buffalo? And then he was a little bit lucky. He passed by when Buddha and a few disciples practiced mindful eating. They said, oh, this is the wise person. Let me go to seek advice and ask him. So he arrived in front of the Buddha and said, dear wise one, have you seen any buffalo pass by? And then the Buddha said, oh, we have been sitting here for quite a long time, but we did not see any buffalo pass by. And then the farmer started to continue. Oh, I'm very unlucky. This morning I lost 5 buffalo. They ran away. Very unlucky. And then after he said unlucky, he continues. I have a wife, very beautiful wife and very kind wife. But sometimes she just talks too much and I cannot bear it. Even though she cooked a very good food, but I just not able to bear it. I have one son, my only son. He's very obedient. This is very good. But every time I ask him to help me in the field, he always refuses. Oh, Father, this is very difficult. I don't want to do. And then this year the weather is not very good. Sometimes raining, sometimes drought and everything. Then the crops, the rice not grow properly. And then there's a lot of rats eating all the crops. I'm the poorest, I'm the unluckiest man in this world, he said. Dear wise one, please help me, he said. He's seeking help from the Buddha because everybody says, oh, this is a wise person, the Buddha. He has a lot of solution for your life. Maybe you think and come to the retreat and then you seek a solution from the monks. And then the Buddha said, well, I cannot help. And then the farmer was so surprised. But people say that you are a wise man, you have a lot of solution for our life. But how come you not able to help me? It was so disappointing. Maybe after 5 days, no solution for my life. I'm very disappointed with this plant retreat. I will not come again. And then the Buddha said, yeah, my dear friends, I know you lost your buffalo, you feel very sad, you have a wife, you also feel sometimes happy or sometimes not happy, you have a son, a daughter, you have your business. Well, human life, we have 84 problems. But please don't ask me what is the 84 problems. Human life have all kind of problems. Human life have 84 kinds of problems. But I can help you the number 85 problems. And then the farmer was so surprised. Oh, what is the 85 problems? Because at the very beginning the Buddha said 84. It might be a very special one, might be the key. And then the Buddha said, I can help you on this 85 problem. This means like the desire not to have, the desire or wanting that problem not to come anymore. That is the biggest problem. If you can, how do I say it? The desire, the wish that problem will not come anymore. If you can overcome this problem and then the rest of 84, no problems. Because we have a very strong desire, want to push all the problems. You don't want the problem come to you anymore. The more you try to reject the problem, you feel like the problem become more. Right? So the Buddha said, I'm sorry dear farmers. We did not see your buffalo going to that direction. Maybe you can go to that direction to try your luck. So the farmers was crying. Very unlucky. So and then the Buddha compassionately looked at the monks. The monks. I think the monks also benefit from the teaching. Because of that problem, the monk received a very precious teaching. And then the Buddha looked at the disciple. Dear friends, dear monks, you are very lucky because you don't have buffalo. Let's enjoy them. I think we can go a little bit deeper on the briefings because the briefing is very, we call it the fundamental of the practice in the Buddhist traditions. So it is based on the scripture. It's called Sutta. Sutta is in Pali. Mahayana is called Sutra. Sentence. So it's scripture or a sutta called Anapanasati. is composed of two words. This one is called ana, is in, and then the other one is called apana. Ana means in, apana means out. So when you put it together, it's in and out. The meaning is breathing. And then sati. Sati means mindfulness. So mindful breathing is very important in our traditions. That's why this morning I enjoyed the brothers giving a guidance. The first sentence is breathing in, I know this is my breath, right? And then the second sentence, breathing out, I know this is my out breath. And then he gave you the keywords, in and out. So whenever you take an in breath, you say in inside of you. Out breath, and then you say out. So you put the whole attention to the breathings. This is also the very good way to reduce your overthinking. Because there's a lot of thinking behind, running behind. A lot of thinking running behind. But if you put your attention to the in-breath and out-breath, your thinking reduces into two. One, thinking is the in-breath, thinking about in-breath. The second one is thinking about out-breath. Because nowadays people keep asking, how do I reduce my overthinking? So thinking about your breathing might reduce your thinking. People call it a discount. But of course you need to practice it again and again, not just, okay, come to the mindfulness retreat, I practice mindful breathing. And then after that you go home, you know. Okay, let's give it back to the brothers and sisters. The practicing. So you return to yourself again. So bring back this practice of aware of breathing from time to time. So it will really help. I remember in the scripture, in the Anapanasati, especially in the Chinese versions, they call it the Da Zhang Jing. So inside the Da Zhang Jing, there's a sutra called Anpan Somi Jing, the sutra on the mindful breathing. But before that, there's a preface, the introduction written by a very famous master. Okay, let me look at the book. Can I erase this one? You don't need that. There's a very famous master called Master. You don't know, right? It's called Master Kang Seung Hui. Never heard? Go to find out, please. According to the history, this is the first Zen master from Vietnam. But I think he's, you can look at the history of the biography. He said he's a half Vietnamese. One of the either father or mother from India. I think so. You can try to check. He's a very interesting master. And then our teacher will quote him a lot. His commentary or his writings. Kang Seung Hui. And on that scripture, I saw his name. Oh, how come this master is really very famous? He written an introduction to the Mindful Breathing Sutra. I tried to read it many times. It's so difficult to understand. Even I already used ChatGPT to translate it. But you see, this kind of thing is really helpful. Because I try to read it and then I have to check the dictionary. Because my Zhongwen is quite limited. So I always have to check the dictionary again and again and then you try to put things together. It doesn't make sense. Okay, I copy paste. Copy paste to the ChatGPT with a special instruction. Dear ChatGPT, please make it 2 columns. The first column is the Mandarin, the second column is the English translations. Enter. It really formatted like that, very nicely, left and right, and even the quotes or this sentence in this translation. Wow, wonderful. And then suddenly the ChatGPT asked me, do you want to make a document or PDF with a double file? Then I just had yes. It created a Microsoft Word file for me. I just pressed that button download. Enjoy reading it. Oh, it makes sense a little bit. This ChatGPT also quite okay. So I try to learn and even though like not 100% I understand what the master comes and ways giving a preface about that, but I can learn a lot from there. And then over there I found something very interesting. He said, Year is been 1 day. 1 day time, 1 night time. Year is. And then he said, 13. 13亿. This means in 1 day, 24 hours, you can produce mind. But I don't know how to prove it to you, but I read it on the text. It says you can produce 13亿. 13 is how many? 13 is I think 1.3 billion. Yeah. This one 1.3 billion, right?
Yep.
Wow, 24 hours. If you divide it by 24, by 60, by 60, I think within 1 second you can produce like about 15,000 thoughts. In 1 second. 1 second, 15,000. Another second. You can see a second is. That's why say 24 hours you can produce 1.2. That's why everybody in the state of overthinking. So overthinking is not like suddenly happening. It's actually already happening in everybody. So can you imagine if your mind you put in the in and out, it's become 2. It's reduced this overthinking a lot, but in the sense that you really have to put your attention to your breathing in and out. You don't believe me? Give it a try. I tried many times. Sometimes successful, sometimes fail. When I talk about fail, many people so scared of failure. There's one time, there's a friend asking me, brother, I'm really afraid of failure. Because I think nowadays our education, our family, we're always talking about success. But we never prepare our children, our friends, our younger brother to be, not to us, our children to fail, but fail is, you never can avoid it. But you have to prepare them. Right? So we're only talking about success, just how do we do. But suddenly everything breaks down. They don't have that capacity to embrace the failure. Mental breakdown. That's why nowadays people keep talking about mental wellness, mental well-being, right? This is mental well-being. So the friend asked me about that. He said, dear friends, let me tell you honestly, talking about practicing mindfulness or meditation, walking or sitting, I can claim that I have more failure than you. Because we have practicing for so many years, our failure also a lot. But from those failures, I found something very precious. Can you imagine if I'm afraid of failure? I will never try. You lost the opportunity if you run away from your failure. Or if you run away from your suffering, then you lost the biggest change, opportunity to realize something. So I always appreciate the difficulties, but I'm not deliberately creating difficulties now. But it will come. Like the farmer. Because the farmer tried to reject the suffering, the problems. So please announce to the world that everybody is in a state of overthinking. So you can have a very clear experience on this related to thinking, just by return to your breathing. This is not ChatGPT, okay? I wrote it myself this morning. The first 4 breathing that you have to master very well, according to this sutra. The first one is very simple. It's called, you just really put yourself in this in and out, because you're breathing only to in and out. Okay. To help you to think less. Luckily only in and out, not left and right, above, below, nothing. And this in and out will become the foundations of all. So you have to master, become a bachelor of this, become a master of this, become a PhD on this in and out. Nobody will award you a PhD because just in and out. Okay, so it's very simple, just in and out. It's a rule. And what's that? Right? And then we practice whole day. Since you are here already, why don't you just devote yourself, put yourself. Okay, let's give it a try for a few days. Whatever happens, I will come back to my in-breath and out-breath and see what will happen. At the very beginning, maybe you feel so difficult because my mind refused to pay attention to my in-breath and out-breath. But remember, do not afraid of failure. You can try again and again. The second one is called following in and out. Why following? Because we want to know how short, how long, how deep, how slow. Yeah, how quick, how slow, how deep, how shallow, right? Because it will, because it is connected to our feelings. People who have very slow. This is natural slow breathing, right? It has a peaceful feeling and relaxed body. But you don't need to put effort. Sometimes I try to make my breath become very slow, and then at the end there's a lot of tension in your body. So if you keep paying attention to this in and out, it will automatically become a little bit slower and soft. Then it is a chance for you to follow. You following your in-breath from beginning until the end. It makes you very peaceful. This is in-breath, and then out-breath also. When you out-breath, you following your out-breath from beginning until the end. So the what I call it, the length become longer. Okay, because in the many teachers they say, at the very beginning, your breath will be very rough. Even while you're breathing, you can listen to your breath. This morning, when the first time when you sit down, can you feel your breath? If you can listen to your breathing, you can feel that your breathing is very harsh, very rough. This is what the master calls the initial breath is like a wind. From wind is the strong wind blowing, you can hear the wind very clearly, right? So your breathing at the initial state is like a wind. Very strong. You can listen. Even you sit next to a person when the breathing is so loud, you can hear the breathing. But if you practice the in and out for some time, it can become a little bit soft. Become soft. That's why it's become what the Chinese call qi. So it's become a little bit softer. And then if you continue, especially you do the following, the in-breath and out-breath, and then your breathing can turn into something subtle. This is what they call the C. So the C actually is the subtle breathing. That most of the time, when you practice sitting meditation, you feel, I lost my breath, there's no breathing anymore, and then suddenly you're very shocked. But actually the breathing is still there. But it's just so soft. So during the practice, no need to be shocked. I'm telling you right now, the breathing is still there, but it's so subtle, maybe your physical or your nose not able to notice it. But if you quiet yourself down, you can feel it. I remember a story from a mother. So a mother, when she has a baby, so sometimes there's a lot of fear, afraid that the baby not breathing very well. So she will try to use the finger to put the finger near the nose, try to feel the baby still breathing or not. Because sometimes you look at it, it's breathing, a lot of fear. So she tried to put the finger there. But the breathings of the baby is so subtle, maybe in this state. So the mother is not able to feel it. So she has to use a different way to do that. Do you know how? Just now she used one finger, but this one she need to use 5 fingers. Put the 5 fingers somewhere here to the baby, and then if the belly, the abdomen up and down, rising and falling, and then the mother, my baby is still breathing. You can try yourself if you don't believe it. But not your mother. You have to try it yourself. Can we try? You put 2 of your hands on your abdomen. Relax your shoulders. Smile a little. Relax your whole body. And now let's pay attention to our in-breath and out-breath. With the sounds of the bell, we put our wholehearted attention to our up-breath. Okay, you can put on. Can you feel the rising and falling? One time I tried to ask teenagers to do that, and everybody complained, no, nothing brother, nothing happens in my belly. Maybe they are not calm enough. Yeah. So whenever you have a strong emotion, you can try to do that. Sometimes people will put on the chest, sometimes in the belly. So when you feel the rising and falling, whatever emotion you will cool down yourself. Very simple technique, but it's very useful. And according to Chinese medicine, I think when you are in the full of the wind, you will not make your body become sick. Because the way of your breathing is not very correct. So usually we try to breathe, put attention, then it will change into a little bit soft, become chi. And then when you're in the maximum, maybe this is what nowadays you see you have a very smart watch. It can measure how many percentage you our oxygen or breathing. Right? This is called a smartwatch. Somebody I enjoy it so much because it will calculate my steps and then tell me how much calories I already burned, how many steps, how many calories, how many hours I already exercised. Because nowadays if we sit in front of a computer or with a mobile phone, we can sit so long and then make our body move less. So somehow it's helpful. Even I go to sleep, I wear it, and then after I wake up, it will tell me how long is my deep sleep, how long is my light sleep, and how long my REM, rapid eye movement is stable. So there's one time I screenshot and sent to my friend, oh brother, your quality of sleeping very good. Then I said, oh, luckily very good. Because compared to himself, his sleeping quality is so bad. He said, how come you can have such a good quality of sleeping? You have to come to the retreat and learn the method of total relaxation. This one I can guarantee you have a better sleep quality. Really, because our life is really depends on how you go to sleep at night. It will push your well-being, your happiness. You don't need to go to do something very important. Nowadays people have to go to spa, go to this, you have to pay a lot of money, detox. Because in Thailand they are very famous. I don't know, somewhere. If you pay a lot of money, you have to buy a flight ticket, you have to arrange your time. And then you have to pay a very expensive price. Usually people pay an expensive price to eat delicious food. But this one, you go there, they don't provide you with a good food. Probably you drink or something, oil. You pay very expensive in order to eat less. This means probably we are overeating, over-consuming. That's why our retreat is called. Yeah, you haven't. Okay. So this one, okay? It's really soft. But don't worry, it will go back and forth. Sometimes you're very subtle, sometimes you return here, sometimes you return to the really strong. I have 5 minutes. You can try in and out, yeah, the basic, and then following calm and peace. And then the third one is the aware of our body. Aware of mind, okay, not others, whole body. Aware. Because we want to connect it to our body. The frustration, the stress mostly come from our disconnection with our body. If your mobile phone no signal, I think you also will be distressed. No signal, I cannot send with WhatsApp. I think Malaysian also you use a lot of WhatsApp. Because in Thailand, they use a line. So I have a lot of it. To communicate with Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, we use WhatsApp. So I have to install WhatsApp. To talk to Thailand's friends and Japanese, we have to use Line. So I have to install Line. To talk to Vietnamese friends, I have to install a software called Zalo or sometimes Viber. Because in the Sangha we use Viber. Okay? And then in order to talk to my friends in China, I have to install WeChat. So tiring. So sometimes people complain, brother, I sent you a message, why you never reply to me? Following is it's called a swing. So is that you know aware. Aware means knowing. Right? But usually in the scripture they will say the sensi. So it's a body formation. Because actually in our human being we also have another one called mental formations. Sensing and sensing. Sing is a samskara or sankhara. Maybe you don't want to know. And then the fourth one, after you're aware of your body, you connect with your body again. And then you know what happened to your body. I know what happened to my body. It's painful. Yesterday I asked the koyo from Lao. You know koyo, right? Yes. I think Malaysian you also use koyo. That kind of what we use. Yeah, something like that. That you have a paint somewhere and then you, it's like a sticker. You just put it somewhere. Put koyo. I think Malay also called koyo, right? Right. I'm Indonesian, so I know Malay. The fourth one is 觉知一切身形, but at the end, you put the 身形心. It means like your whole body relax. That's why this term have two meanings. The first meaning is the breathing. The second meaning is to relax or to calm. Or my teacher will usually say, embrace our body. Embrace the maybe painful. So I have to embrace my painful koyo here. Still here. Thank you for the koyo. It's quite helpful. So please remember very well the in and out, and then to follow your in-breath and out-breath regularly. And then the third one is to connect with your body. And then the fourth is to relax, to calm, to embrace your body. And then see what will happen within these few days. You will experience it by yourself. I will not explain to you. Please self-discovery. And thank you very much for your attention. And I will let the next session, the brother or sister will continue the talk. Please sit relaxingly, smile. We will end with 3 sounds of the bell. We can try to pay attention to deep breath and out breath. We follow the in and out from beginning until the end. Feel that we are sitting here. I have a body, and then I give me permission to my body to relax.